are probably wondering, maybe none of you are wondering, where's the content been? How have you been doing things? What's going on? Well, you're probably not asking that, and you're probably not wondering that at all. Hello everyone again, it is me, King of Games here. Because King of Games, bitch! The little Karibo reference there for you. For those who know the reference. Either way, so sorry I have not put out any content in the past few weeks. I've been going through some stuff in life, legal stuff, family stuff. We just buried my stepfather. My mother's been in severe depression, had to take care of her. I know I said I would put out content every Wednesday and Sunday. Sorry, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shit, I can't even keep my own shit straight. Anywho, yes, for those who still are out there and looking for guides and stuff like that, and enjoy these kind of videos, and for those who are still fans of the franchise, Friday the 13th, the video game, this is an updated version of the guide I did years ago. I rewatched it, and since then, they've come out with a few more Jasons, and I'm only making this guide because I've been playing this game a lot more with some friends I recently made. They're all like 150s, and some of them are low levels, but the 150s, just suck so much ass at being Jason. I figured I'd make this guide while they're not yammering in my fucking ear all the time. But no, this guide is not meant to be an insult towards people who have been playing the game a certain way. It's a guide to help people get better. Because as you can see at the bottom where it says Strawberry Pimp 30, right above Select and Create Party, that is my level. I'm not max 150, and I have friends who are max 150, and they suck so much. Like whatever you could say, dick, ass. I'm sorry. Again, warning, children. This game, and this content of this video is not for you. So, I'm gonna go over a few things. Starting with one, I'm gonna go over simple mechanics for new players, and some tips on how they might get better. 2, I'm going to go over each and every one of the Jasons and the counselors, Jason's first, counselors second, about how their playstyle should be played, not saying, oh, this is the only way you should play them, but this is the most efficient way to play them, with the Jasons and then the counselors. Now, side note, some of the builds I'm using for my counselors, I do not take credit for these, but I have kind of tweaked them in my own way. But then again, I never really get a chance to use them due to the Jasons we play in private matches are a little shit, especially the 150s. I'm looking at you, little Mark. Anyways, I'm going to go over other few things like which Jason. I'm also going to go over ranking which Jason is more efficient, which one are my top. Well, for the Jasons, there's only technically 9, apart from Savini Jason. Another side note, I do not own Savini Jason, so Savini Jason will not be in this video. Barely anybody does unless they backed it via the Kickstarter. So for those who are out there saying, oh, are they going to bring Savini Jason? No. I'll get to the whole reason why there's not going to be more updates or why there has not been. But if you don't know by that, well, if you don't know that by now, well, you're kind of in the loop. So, let's begin. For new players, when you start up the game, you will see the current screen. You have quick play, private match, offline play, how to play, customize progression, settings, credits. Settings, just standard audio, video, input, game, and controller mapping. That's pretty much it. Credits. There's the credits starring Hodder at the beginning, because Keen Hodder did actually do all the mocap for Jason on here. Progression. It just talks to you about your badges that you earn, how far you've earned them, pretty much that. Pamela tapes, stuff like that. Tommy tapes. That's it. Now, customize. Well, actually, let's start off with quick play. Quick play is how you get into a public lobby. That's it. That is it. It's just public lobby. It's just quick match. That's it. If you've played Call of Duty, or, for example, a better example would be Rainbow Six Siege, and there's a quick game. and ranked. This is basically a quick game, or what do they call it now? Private match. Private match is basically a match where one person is the host, and the host can change the settings of what they want in the game. You can make some weird, wacky shit, like basically give Jason stun resistance where even shotguns don't stun him, make him have rage right off the bat. Pretty cool stuff. You can twerk it around a little, tweak it around. Fuck. I said twerk. Oh my god, twerk it around a little. Well, shit. But as a side note, with private match, same with quick play and the offline play, I will get to it in a second. In private matches, yes, you do gain XP. You can level up. Side note, there is a XP glitch that only works for Jason. This glitch was, I was actually the unwilling volunteer. I unwillingly volunteered for that glitch when I was on the phone with my mother when she's still depressed. Thanks for that, games. I'll make sure you see this video. But if someone says, oh, do you want to do this XP glitch? Come on, bring the car over here. Here, let me do this for you. Let me do this. Let me show you this XP glitch. The XP glitch is for Jason. If you are a camp counselor and Jason is telling you to do something with that, do not buy it because he will be killing your invisible dead body and getting a ton of XP. That is it. It doesn't affect the counselor. It only affects Jason. Offline play. Offline bots, challenges, and virtual cabin. Virtual cabin is just something that they set up to before the whole lawsuit that happened. If you don't know about the lawsuit, Gun Media and a bunch of other people were getting sued by Victor Miller for the rights to Friday the 13th. In the end, Victor Miller won, so there will not be any updates. Do not suggest it, do not think it, there will be none. Friday the 13th is basically dead because now Ilphonic, who is working alongside Gun Media for Friday the 13th, is now making more money since they have the licensing to Predator Hunting Grounds. Now, Predator Hunting Grounds is basically Friday the 13th, but with Spec Ops members, and it's a little more suspenseful. And it's a little easier to kill the monster. I don't know. But yeah. So, yeah, there's no more updates. We're supposed to get the Gremlin, Jason X. I mean, they are in the game via the virtual cabin, but that's it. So, challenges. When you look at the challenges, there are different challenges all the way up to Chapter 10. And each one of them has objectives that you have to do in order to complete these things. And when you get done, you will unlock special thing. You'll unlock a bunch of XP and, you know, all that stuff for CP. Same thing. And you can lock some exclusive emotes by doing, and I'll get to how you customize emotes once we get there. So, anyways, are they useful? Yes, they give you a bit of a guide on how to do things, kind of train you as to do certain things. But some of them, like Walking Tall, complete the entire mission without using the shift ability as Part 6 Jason. Those are only if you unlock them, so that's pretty much it. Offline bots. Offline bots are basically where you're playing as Jason and you're fighting AI. You can pick any of the maps that are available, and you can select whatever Jason you want, and you can even select the difficulty. I choose hard all the time, mainly because they kind of seem a little more stupid, the AI, than on easy. Plus, you get the max amount of XP, or ACP, whatever. So, if you want to get good at a certain Jason, or just get used to the map, play offline bots. I recommend it. Offline bots are there for a reason. Use them. That way you can get used to the map and used to a certain Jason you're not used to. Do it. For the love of God, do it. Now, customize. Spawn preference. I have mine set to Jason, but I'm always a counselor. There was at one point they said there was going to be a pool of Jason tickets where you could be Jason, and the same thing with counselor, but it's nowhere on here, so if it does exist, it's not able to be seen. So you can choose your spawn preference, counselor, none, Jason. I have noticed that a lot of people choose to play Jason because Jason's usually a lot easier. Some people prefer Counselor, some people prefer Jason. It's your choice. Anyways, going on with the Jasons. So we're going to be starting with Part 2 Jason. I'm going to give him his rank and his playstyle. This Jason normally starts off with the pickaxe. You have to get to level 118 to swap out the weapon. So, this Jason, each Jason comes with strengths and weaknesses, pros and cons. This one can run, has the only one that has the most traps, can morph, but has less shift ability, less defense, and less water. Less defense, I've noticed, means it's easier to knock off his mask. Water speed, he sucks in water. He is a terrible water speed Jason. He is slow. The other thing is the fact he has left shift. Left shift is basically like where you go like breathing like, and then you're like basically, it's kind of like a speed ability. This Jason, due to the fact that he has traps, he is the only one that has the most traps out of everyone. This is what I like to call, and I tell my friends this, they agree, this is a Trapper Jason. Okay, I hate when people play Trapper Jason, especially low-level players, and they're running after you. They're only single-minded, single-focused, kind of one straight narrow mind players. I'm a little sick too, so pardon my nasal congestion. But this Jason is the only one that has the most traps. I've said this numerous times. So what this Jason playstyle should be doing, and I will get to Jason's map in a second. I will actually, in a little bit, I'll actually play a game as this Jason to show you why this Jason is better than the other Jasons, with the traps at least. Jason's map, we'll get to that, but this Jason should be laying down traps. This Jason should be first thing he should do, and first thing every Jason should do, is as soon as you spawn in, you should go for the generators. The generators are these little tiny white squares that have like a lightning bolt on them. Because, as you'll see later on, Jason's map sees everything. The boat, the car, the phone, the generators. I just dropped my controller and thankfully it didn't pop out of the thing. But, anyways, moving on. Part 3 Jason, the iconic one, the first one that got the hockey mask. This Jason can run, has increased weapon strength, and is a gripper. Has grip strength, has less stun resistant, has less stock, and has less sense. Don't we all have less sense for playing this piece of shit? Since this Jason has more weapon strength, and this one has the best grip strength, one of the good strength, combination of both. This Jason is what I like to call a in-between Jason. This Jason will still do the same thing that 2 does, you know, where it places the traps. But when you're going after a counselor, and I cannot hesitate or like express this any other way, do not be one of 2 players. Grippers or swingers. And no, that's not something that's supposed to be sexual, you know, as far as swinging. Oh, swingers. No. What a swinger does is they swing their fucking R2 button and don't ever grip. They don't ever use their L2. They like ignore or can't even remember what the button does. Oh, what does L2 do? Oh, never mind, I'll swing my weapon. Those are the most boring Jasons. The second one is the most annoying. Grippers. They just grab all the time. Grab, grab, grab. They grip you. Grippers are annoying. Swingers are actually the most boring, because there's really nothing to do. Now, with this balanced Jason, a part of this well-balanced breakfast, you want to swing your weapon until they're wounded. Why? Because if you don't grab them while they're wounded, if you don't like wound them so they can either use the healing spray, they'll either break free of your grab because they got a pocket knife, or you'll be wounded, and they either are stupid enough they'll use their spray right in front of you, that way you could smack it and waste it, or you could just grab them and they'll use their pocket knife without being wounded. or they'll be wounded, and then they'll use the pocket knife. For me, normally, how I play every Jason is I swing my weapon until they're wounded, then I grip them. That way, they either have to do two options, which they normally do, is either use their healing spray in front of me, or they'll stick the pocket knife in me, or they won't have one. Because it still takes time to use the pocket knife. So with this one, since he has grip strength and weapon strength, means when he hits them, it doesn't take that long for them to be wounded. So that's why he's an in-between or a balanced Jason. Moving on to Part 4. Part 4 we'll start with his cons. Less shift, less traps, he only can carry 3. When it says less traps, he can only carry 3. For the Trapper Jason, he can carry 7. The other ones carry 5. He can run, he has weapon strength, and he has more destruction. This is kind of a fan favorite for a lot of my friends, because not only does he have weapon strength, he also has destruction, and destruction means he can tear down barricaded doors, unbarricaded doors, walls. Oh, pardon me. Oh. And he can run. This one is kind of like he's basically Part 3, but with destruction minus the grip strength. So he normally comes with the pig splitter. I should mention that he comes with the pig splitter, aka the big meat cleaver looking thing. Part 3 comes with the axe, the woodcutter's axe. So with this Jason in Part 2, if you're on a water map, and if you're in a place where there's a boat, there's a boat, and you get in the boat, and the Jason is either Part 2 or Part 3. He's gonna have a lot harder time catching you, especially if you have the perk where the boat with the counselors where the boat goes faster. So that would be your best bet. Not saying it's 100% guaranteed. Don't take my word for that. But it's your bet. It's the better of the two. So, moving on to 5. 5, aka the fake Jason. For people who are not aware, in the end of Part 4, Jason died, and this guy basically went crazy over his loss of his son. And actually, this is a fake Jason. This is not Jason. So, this one has more throwing knives, more stock, and can run. He has no benefits to his weapons, and he actually does have his actual weapon. He starts with those shears. He has less stun resistance, less grip strength, and less defense. This is the kind of Jason that is easily killable, and for those who don't know, yes, you can kill Jason. It's relatively easy. There's 100 videos about it. There was actually a more recent one. I forget the name of the guy I watched, but he did a bunch of other builds, and when I watched his version of how to kill Jason, it worked. So watch him. I forget his name. But the fact that he can carry more throwing knives, he has more stock and can run. The thing is though about stock is stock basically means where it goes quiet, like you can't sense him. He's a fake person. His name's Roy, so he doesn't have all of Jason's benefits. So, and also stock is the last ability that you get when you start a Jason, when you're playing as Jason. So, it's the final key ma ma ma, or key ma ma ma. So throwing knives, that's pretty good. His defense, lower HP and block stance, and his duration and chance of being stunned by counselor is higher. So if you have a character that is a good stun build, or you're planning on trying to kill him, use a character that has good stun build, a good stun like fighter build, and you can knock his mask off easy. So yes, there's another one that has less defense and less stun resistance, but yes, this one and the other one you can kill easily. Moving on, Part 6. The one where Jason lives. More throwing knives, more sense, and more shift. This is where Jason starts turning into like more of the zombie undead form. Can't run, has less defense. Again, basically it's easier to knock his mask off, and has less morph. This one is a knifer Jason. He can sense. He's more of an actual tracker than a trapper because he can sense you and he can shift on you. So he's a very good tracker. The throwing knives, I've never been big on the throwing knives this game since so many people can just walk back and forth. But yes, with this one though, this is a stalker, Jason. My friend Cursed, he actually made a version of this where he had the machete and he was basically Michael Myers. Kind of nice. But no. This one again, this one is a attacker. I keep forgetting that. More of an attacker playstyle. So you want to basically constantly be chasing after the person. I've kind of lost the point at that. So this Jason, moving on to number 7, part 7. This Jason has more sense, has water speed, and more weapon strength. He used to have more grip strength in lieu of water speed. This was a good gripper, Jason, for some people. And he has less traps, so he has 3 less stun resistance, so which means he's easier to get stunned and he can't run. The thing about this Jason is he's a water Jason, meaning if there's a boat and this is the Jason you're going up against, don't attempt it. Just don't. Just don't. Okay, just don't. He has more weapon strength and he has more sense. This one is more like, I guess to say a hunt. I don't know. I was gonna say a sensei, but that's the wrong word. But you know, you're gonna utilize your sense and you're gonna utilize water speed. So, if there's a boat, then you might want to use this one. Part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. This one. He has less sense, can't run, and less grip strength, but has more stock, has more destruction, and has greater water speed. This Jason, honestly, I think is the best because he has everything he has. He doesn't have less HP, he doesn't have less stun resistance. Yeah, sure, he has less grip strength, but if you're smacking them a couple times before you kill them or attack them or even try to kill them with your gripping animation or your grip kills, they're going to be screwed. So, water speed, destruction, and stock. I mean, I don't really care for the stock, I rarely use it, but the water speed's good. So, yeah. We move on to part 9. He has more shift, more stun resistance, and more stock. Again, more stun resistance means he's harder to stun. Which, of course, as it said. More shift, which is good, and stock. Can't run, and he has less hit points, meaning his mask can come off pretty easy, less traps, you know, the huge. So, which Jasons do I think are the top 5? Well, my number 1 would be part 8. Simply because of the fact he has water speed, destruction, and everything else about him is pretty balanced. He's the only one that doesn't have less hit points, less stun resistance, like the others do. Like, he doesn't have less stun resistance, and he doesn't have less defense. He is my personal favorite, and I think that's why a lot of people go for him, just because of the fact he doesn't have less stun resistance, less HP. He has relatively easy... His weaknesses are actually pretty good. That would be number 1 for me. Number 2. Number 2 for me is going to have to be part 3. Because he's well balanced. I like the well balanced with him. Okay, he's my favorite out of... Well, he's not my favorite, but he's the one for number 2 spot. Because, again, he's balanced. Weapon strength, you can smack the shit out of the counter. They're going to easily get wounded. They're going to waste their spray more. They're going to have a harder time getting out of your grip. Which is really nice. Sure, he does have the stun resistance, but his defense is still good. Number 3. Trapper Jason. Simply because he has the traps, and he's actually, when played right, he can piss off a whole fucking lobby. He really can. Sure, he has less defense, but then again, if you're good about blocking people, and you know when people are trying to juke you and kill you, if you're aware, yes. Number 4. Part 4. the attacker kind of Jason. The only thing I have issues with him is when you're on a water map, him in part 2 kind of suck. The shift I can deal with, the less traps I can deal with, but he's number 4 because he's a combination of, again, he's like part 8 in part 3. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with him as number 4. Number 5. Number 5, I'm going to have to give it to number 7. Part 7. Because, yeah, he has less stun resistance. Yeah, he can't run less traps. But just like with part 3, he's good. But I like to have him just in case. He's like, you know, especially if you're going on a water map, if we know if the host is basically cycling maps. Like, oh, this one has a boat some of the time, so I'm going to bring this Jason. Okay, so the other worst ones. Which ones do I think are the worst? Well, it's a toss-up between Part 9, Part 5, and Part 6. Which one is the least worst? I'm going to have to give the least worst to Part 6. Part 6 is... Well, actually, no. Actually, I changed my mind. The worst one I'm going to have to give it to is... The least worst, as what I'm about to give it to, is Part 9. Part 9, yeah, has less hit points, less traps, can't run, but more shift, more stalk, and stun resistance is where he shines. So, yeah, he's not really that good with the less hit points, but he's still the least of the worst. Now, which one takes second place? Which one is the second to last? Well, I'm going to have to give it to Part 6. Those throwing knives, that extra sense, the Hunter Jason or Tracker Jason, and the shift. Yeah, sure, he has less defense, can't run, he has less morph, but, you know, if played right, he's good. So, I'm going to have to give it to him. So, which means the worst is Fake Jason. Why? Because it isn't really Jason. Less defense, less stun resistance. He's the easiest one to get bitched around. He is an absolute terrible person to play as. And not to mention, if you know how to do it right, you could bully the hell out of this person. Part 5. Really, you can. So, he's the worst. Now, I've been going over this long enough. Now to go over the counselors. I'll be honest, I really can't do a guide on the counselors because I don't have half the perks that I've kind of tweaked and reworked these builds around. But who do I think? Let me give you a quick rundown of who I think is the best, in my opinion. My top 3 are my mains. Adam, because he's a straight up bully. If done right and set up right, Adam can bully the shit out of a weak-ass Jason. He can. He is a good bully build. He has 8 strength, 6 repair, 7 composure. His stamina and his stealth are crap. His luck is absolute shit. His speed is okay. I have him set up with heavy hitter, man at arms, and sucker punch just for that stun and melee speed. My second best is actually Tiffany, because I use her as a runner build and a distraction. I don't intend on fighting with her. I don't plan on it. I deliver she's what I could call a delivery person. Like, you got mail, boy. I bring the stuff to the location and I drop it there, then I run the fuck away. I'm wasting Jason's time. She's a distraction / delivery / some, like, runner build. And actually, I've actually managed to outlast a lot of Jasons by playing her. Her stealth is good, her stamina is okay. How is she compared to Vanessa? Well, she doesn't have that good a speed. Where the fuck is Vanessa? Vanessa, where are you? Vanessa has 10 speed and 9 stamina. Vanessa is a pure runner build. Okay? Hands down. She's a good delivery person. Okay? So, compared to Tiffany, she's better. But overall, Tiffany is a good combination between runner and stealth. My third favorite. I'm gonna have to give it to simply. I'm gonna have to give it simply to Fox. I hate Fox. I hate people who play Fox. But I like her simply because she's like my Adam build, but she's a mixture of, like, she's a distraction. I have her with heavy hitter, slugger, and marathon. That's how I ever played. She's like Adam, but like with a bit of like Vanessa, or not Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa. Now, what character do I think is the worst? Fucking Vanessa. Vanessa is not simply... Vanessa is a good character. Okay, I get it. Vanessa's a good character. But half the time when I see Vanessa players, they're arrogant, self-centered jackasses. Dancing all the time like, oh, yeah. And they're just straight up pricks. If you see a bunch of Vanessas working together, that's going to be hard because they can regain their stamina so fucking fast. They are terrible. Half the time, they'll probably be doing this. They'll be doing the exact same shit I'm doing. Restful, where they can increase their stamina recharge. Marathon, and spatial awareness, so they don't trip as much. Yes, all mine are legendary. So, that's how I see Vanessa. I hate her. Fox is a close second. So, that's about it. I said I would do one match, and we're going to do Higgins Haven Small, since a lot of people like to do that. And I'm going to do the Trapper Jason just so I could show off how he is actually played. And I do have the TV muted so you can't hear the, what do you call it? You can't hear the sound effects. So I'm going to show you how I play my Part 2 Jason. And this actually manages to piss people off. I've actually had a lot of people leave lobbies. So, Higgins Haven Small. Part 2 Jason. Trapper Jason goes up. Throwing knife, even though it's more than a pin. It's off. There we go. The blood starts to show up. First thing I do, grab these, of course. Give the counselors a few seconds.
They're out there, Jason.
Regroup and gather their thoughts.
And get your revenge.
Now, if you see the map, this is Jason's map. This is Jason's map. Phone, power box, generator, car, generator. Jason can see things that we can't. We have to find. So what Jason should do is simply what I'm doing. Go for the generators first. Because what that'll do is that'll build up fear for the counselors. And don't spend your time busting down everything. So this Jason, Trapper Jason, has 7. And there's some stupid fucking AI in here, of course, because I wasn't actually... It's Adam. Adam can repair, but that's not what we're going to focus on. The way I normally do it... Oh god, there goes my sinuses. Oh god. So, the way I do it is I go from the furthest one, close, then down. And don't be... Another thing about Jason players, do not, I repeat, do not be single-minded and focus on only one person. Please focus on other people, because that's what's going to drive them nuts, is when you're not focusing solely on them, because they expect you, oh, it's me, I'm going to attack, Jason's going to attack me. Yeah. And look at that, I caught somebody right outside. I caught Kitty.
Help me!
See how he was trying to spray right there? He still has the spray can right there. And he has a pocket knife. That's what I mean. Swing your weapon a couple times, then grab them.
You cannot die. You can never die.
Cause see, now he actually got to use his bullshit. And that's also what I mean about the hard AIs being really retarded. Because they, for some reason, just don't understand the can't go.
Damn it, no!
So now that Kitty was here, I'm gonna kill him real quick. Just gonna
Please,
knock
no!
off. Try to do this as fast as I can.
Don't stop, Jason.
So I'm gonna go over here.
They deserve to die.
Gonna go to
Make
this
them
generator,
suffer
which
like
is
we did.
right over here. It's by the barn. Mitch is also a fixer, so he may actually end up stepping inside our trap. See him running around like an idiot. Yeah, he's most likely going to jump out and try and fix the generator. Because that's just how stupid Mitch is. We like to call him Shaggy. Or he will just keep jumping outside and trying to kill himself. Hello. Lovely. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to break this generator.
Special boy.
So if you noticed, I keep placing traps after I blow the generator because that'll either force them to step in it or they will have to use a pocket knife, which makes my life a little easier. Now I have my stalk ability. And it's Adam again, so... Now I'm going to go over to the phone box, which is over here. Again, Jason can see everything, especially if someone puts the stuff in the car. Well, he can't see the list, but he can see if the car is moving. So if you are playing as Jason, do not, for the love of God, focus on one person. Give some other people a chance for breathing. Especially if they've got nothing important. Like, if you see someone carrying the cash, you're like, oh yeah, that's my target. But then again, don't spend the whole match just chasing after one person, especially if it's a Vanessa player. Because again, Vanessa players are shit. Also, if the radio is on, it will most likely just be a bunch of blips all in the same area. So, like, run around like these guys are. So we can see Adam out there. So the Choppa's over here. He's wounded. Pocket knife. No, he did not. So let's pump him. Pump up jail. He got pumped. Kenny got decapitated. Mitch got also, that little thing above, the little diamond above the top left of the screen. Keep an eye on that if you're Jason, because that's actually...
Kill for mother.
Oh God, no! Help! Ah!
And Chad over here can actually just attack that real quick. Chad's dead.
Yes. Yes. Kill for mother.
A lot of people have been hitting my traps and I haven't even been paying attention. That's funny. AJ has the battery, so of course...
Jason, my boy, do you know what your gift is?
Christ, how many
No
people have
matter
hit
what
my
they
traps?
do,
Everyone's hit my traps.
You cannot die. You can never die.
out of here. I'm gonna use my new abilities to not go like that. Let's get out of here.
They deserve to die, Jason. Make them suffer.
Something that also tends to piss people off when you are playing as Jason is if you basically kill everybody before the 15-minute mark, which is kind of upsetting. Got Adam.
Yes. Yes. Kill for Mother.
So he's over there. So there's Bugsy. Bugsy, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid.
Shit!
Jason,
Oh no, Bugsy's wounded.
you know what your gift is. No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die.
No! No! Help me! Wait.
He says he's a football star. Let's give him the free kick. And the Steelers win!
That's my
So yeah, that's how I play Trapper Jason.
That's my special boy.
And hope some people actually like that. I didn't pay attention to my traps because, well, I couldn't hear anything. My TV turned muted as, but you get the point. So, we're going to end it here before it gets out of the thing. You can see the XP I got. So, remember, like and subscribe. Maybe if we get to 15 subscribers, I'll actually do more videos. I will let my friends actually see this. So, yeah, thanks, and sayonara, or goodbye.